Welcome back to CAD 216, and we're going to put a basement on this one and work on the foundation. Um, and you'll see in the book, but around the perimeter here, you're going to have, around this section right here, minus the garage, you're going to have 12-inch thick concrete walls, and the footer underneath, and there's not going to be a basement on this portion. It's just going to be a footer, or your foundation is going to go down with a foundation wall of 8 inches. Now, you'll notice something on here. We'll look at the elevations real quick. We'll slide right over, go to one of your elevations. Roof, top of second roof, second floor, first floor, foundation, and here we go. I went to another view, and I was able to get all of them. There is the top of the foundation wall, and it says foundation, and typically that's it's top of foundation wall, TOFW. Now the book says foundation, so we'll go with that. The basement here is this number, top of footing, and then the bottom of footing. So this will be the basement floor, and you're seeing it's basically, it's going to have this is going to be the top, so you're going to have your concrete, and then you're going to have some gravel in there as well underneath of it. So these are the numbers that we were given to begin with. So we're going to take off, and we're going to put this foundation in. So the first thing that we need to do is go back in, and we're going to go to the foundation, okay? Or we can actually, let's just go to the foundation here, and we want to go all the way down to the top of the footing. So let's go to foundation in our floor plans, foundation, double click, and it looks like this. Now, what you want to do here is, the book tells you to do a different way, and it's fine if you follow the book, but I'll show you the way that is so much easier for me on these type of drawings. Is come over here and just grab yourself a wall, architectural wall, and let's go in here and let's find that 12-inch foundation right here, concrete, 12-inch concrete foundation. And what I want to do, this is how I do it. I go around the outside edge and I follow it. I'm just kind of offsetting it, and I'm not touching any of my walls. Now this is the way that I do it. And then actually I don't want to cross over because I didn't do a certain thing. I'll just come all the way to the end because I don't want to add this garage in yet. I grab this side and I'll bring that across. And I'll just grab this and I'll tie them together. And I didn't set the height of these walls. If I were to go to 3D right now, check this out. I didn't set anything, and that's just where it put it at. Okay, y'all see that underneath of it? Go back to foundation, and I'll click on one of these walls, and the base constraint, it says basement. I want it to be the top of footing, okay? Top of your footer. And top constraint is going all the way up to foundation, and there's no offsets, and hit apply. And I want to make sure, I want to hit control and grab all of these foundation walls, and I'll go in here, and base constraint is going to be, of course, your top of footing. That's where it's going to start, and it's going to go all the way up to my foundation and apply. So now you're like, what in the world are you doing next? What are you going to do next? Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take and use my align tool. Modify, align, and I want to use my face of walls. I'll catch wall faces, and it's not wanting to catch that. Okay, do you all see that? It's wanting to catch the center. I want to catch that face of that. Well, what it is it's not wanting to show me because I'm using the first floor. It's an underlay, and it's really, well, there it goes. There it went. That time it worked. I don't know what the difference was. I was getting ready to say it could be we need to adjust the clep plane on this, but we didn't have to. So we can hit a line, come down here and grab that, and then come up here and grab that. Okay? Puts it right underneath of it. Come over here, hit your align again, click on that, click the face. Well, what we have to do is we got to move this thing a little bit. And then hit your align, catch that, then catch that. Align, catch that, then catch that. Catch that, then that. Y'all see what I'm doing here? I'm just catching what I want it to go to and then send it over. I want it to go to that edge, this edge to that edge. And to me, when I do it like this, I know it's accurate. It's exactly where it's supposed to be, and I don't have to second guess anything. And I can't do that one because the reason is, hit escape a few times and just grab this wall and pull it down a little bit. Don't put it under it yet. Is because it went past this one. See how it works there? And I'll go ahead and get this one. And then here, this one should catch that. And it's not wanting to catch that wall all the way. So, alright, it's no big deal. We'll take and move that in. And right there, oh, I didn't get it right. I needed to align to the like that. My bad. I want to grab that wall and pull it back out. Okay. Oh, I don't want to do that. I just want to pull it just a fuzz. And then do a line. I caught the wrong side. So this one here, I want that to be in there. Now, we can take and grab this portion here and grab that. Align. And it's not wanting to catch. And that's okay. Align, catch that, and then catch that. There we go. You had to hit the right thing. So far, so good. And then the last phase of it is I want to take and align there to that. Okay? And just like that, we can take it out to 3D, and you can see how that thing's perfectly underneath. And this right here, that gap in between, that's where my floor is going to be. Alright, now, let's get in here and let's put this foundation underneath of the garage. Now, the garage the garage is going to be an 8-inch wall. Now, the thing we got to remember about this garage, it doesn't have a floor under it, and you can see this one. And I'm not sure how the book shows it. I'm just drawing it up the way I would if I was designing this. But the actual garage, the footer would come all the way up to that floor level, and then you would put your concrete pad inside of it. So what you want to do on that one is I would bring that all the way up to that level, and that level is the first floor. Okay? So when we do this one, let's go back into foundation, and we'll do it here. That's fine. I go up here to architecture, and I'll do my wall again, and I'll just take off like right around through here like this. It's no big deal. And then I'll do it just the way that I showed you. So this one is an 8-inch wall, and I don't know if we've got an 8-inch wall in here or not, concrete wall. We do 8-inch masonry. But if you wanted to make one, if you wanted to make a new wall, it's the same thing. Click on it, get the style that you want, and you're just coming here and you'll duplicate. And this time you just do 8-inch foundation wall. Okay. Now that just changes the name up here. It doesn't change the structural properties. And you'll see right here the structural properties 1 foot. This will be 8-inch. And okay. And okay. So you see how it changed the size of that? And I'll just click on this one, hit Control, and grab this one. And we'll change those to that 8-inch foundation wall. Now, I can go ahead and grab this and grab this, and I can adjust the height of it. We're coming up to probably need to come up to the first floor on it, really and truly. Base constraint on the main bottom, it would be going to the and they have it in the book going all the way down to the top of footing, and that's unusual to go that deep, but it's not really in some aspects, because in some states it's all about your bottom of the footer has to be below the frost and the freeze thaw depth, and in some areas it's like 72 inches. So a lot of homes that are built in cold climate, you'll find out, or in a lot of major freeze thaws areas, they have basements, and that's the reason being because you've already got a footer that's that deep in a foundation wall, so you might as well get some extra space out of it. Even though this right here is going to be, it's not going to be a basement, it's going to be filled, but the footer is that deep because of that, and that's why you see that. If you think that, that could be a little strange, but that's actually how that works. So its base is top of footing, and we're going to go all the way up, and I'm going to take it all the way to the first floor and apply. And the reason I did that, and I don't know, we'll have to look at the book a little later, but it just makes sense to do that because you can pour the concrete in there, and we could go a little bit shallower. Most of the time you put 4 inches of concrete over 4 inches of gravel, so you could actually put that down a little bit, but I want to go with that for right now, and that's fine if you guys do. Hit align, and there, 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 and when you go over here now, escape out of everything, you can slide down and underlay. You don't want any underlay, and there you go. So there is your foundation for the most part. Annotate, and we'll hit alignment. Perfect. It's right on the money. Now, also, we want to look at something else on this too. So, you see how you're actually seeing this concrete hatch pattern, and you're not seeing it over. It's all in your depth cut plane. If you come down here and go to View Range and hit Edit, you see that your association is foundation 0, 0, and then foundation. You're going 10 foot negative, and then your cut plane is 0 at foundation. All right. What it is you're actually cutting through this cut plane is, and what I would do on this for your foundation layer, I would drop this down a little bit, and you're seeing all the way down to -10. Just do something like -5 and apply. And when you did that, what you're saying is that foundation top, it should be top of foundation wall, you're going -5 foot, and when you cut that, this is the hatch pattern. That's what's happening. So that's what you're looking at. That right there is perfect. And then if I go 3D, you can kind of see, how that is turning out. And I want to show you something else while we're in here. We're going to go ahead and put a footer on the bottom of this. Now, The footer's really easy. Let me go down here and look and see the bottom of footing. So it's got 1 foot thick footing, and we're using 12-inch walls, so we'll have to use 24-inch. Let's see. You only have to have at least a 24-inch wide footer. So let me show you how to do that. It's real simple. So basically the rule of thumb for a footer on the bottom is you take whatever thickness your wall is and times it by 2. So this is 12 inches wide. 12 times 2 is 24. And typically on a basement you're going to go at least 12 inches deep on your footer, the thickness of it. So all you have to do is come up here to architecture, or actually structure, and you've got foundation, and you've got this wall, structural wall, and this is for footers. And they have got one that's in there that is 24 inches by 12. No, that's retaining footing. We need a bearing footing, and this is not exactly the right one. It's 36 inches wide by 12 inches thick. We just need 24 inches. So we hit Edit Type, Duplicate, and Bearing Footing, and we're going to put 24 inches here, because that's the minimum. You can go wider if you need to, and that change it right here. Instead of 3 foot, it's going to be 2 foot. 1 inch thick is perfect. And once you get that in there, there it is. All you have to do is just click on the wall. And you see how it's putting your footer in? Just click on the wall. It will put it in automatically for you, which is a nice little addition. And you get that all put in there. And what I was talking about earlier, remember I was talking about the clep plane? If I look at this thing straight on, and right here is that foundation. That's where the clep plane was before, and it was going down minus, I can't remember, 10 foot, but I had this one going, and I think the clep plane was at 0. It was at foundation 0, or it was first floor, I can't remember. But I just dropped it where I'm putting minus 5, and then it was actually cutting through down here so that you could see it on the plan view. So this is how I've got it at this point. We might have to drop this wall down. It just depends on what the book wants us to do, but that's what I would do if it was me. So let's get in there and take another little look at it. And let's go back into that foundation. So, alright, you can see the footer. And right there is the footer. Y'all see that? So here's the foundation wall, there's the footer, and we're seeing all the way down to it. That looks perfect. So if you get everything up to that point, just go through. It wouldn't hurt to check your measurements out. Oh, perfect. And that's the reason I had you go earlier before you start this, to get your dimensions right, and that way you don't have to worry about nothing. And I think we missed a foundation wall there. We'll have to fix that. Yeah, there's something wrong here. Y'all see that? So let's go back into first floor. I must have moved something. No, that all looks lined up perfectly. Foundation. So what I want to do on that, I'll bring back in real quick my underlay, which is first floor, apply, and right there it is. And you see how that somehow pulled in. I guess I might have accidentally aligned it with something. So this right here, and that goes there, and that pulls that out to there. And then again, align, and it might be locked here. It kind of acts like it wants to be. Yeah, it's locked, and that's okay. Sometimes you get that does that like that, and y'all see how that's wanting to do that. I'll pull that one off, and now I'll fix it. You see how I did that? I just pulled that off, and there, and now I'll do this one, And I'm kind of glad it did that, because I wanted to tell you this. What happens with it? You just pull that over. Grab your grips and pull over. And just pull that one back. What happens sometimes is whenever you draw walls underneath of walls, even though they're not the same height and level, sometimes they'll associate one another, and when you move one, it moves the other. And that's why I always kind of do an outline when I go around it, and then I take and I line them up. And again, it's always good just to do those spot checks and make sure your measurements are what they're supposed to be and that's spot on. So, and I'll check this one here just to make sure, and we're good. But take time as you go through it and check yourself regularly for your measurements. Make sure everything's coming in right, because it's easier to fix it as you go as to get down the road and have to go back and change a lot of things.